Now it's very interesting that just recently, only 2 weeks ago, I was doing some research and I came across something very fascinating. And this goes a little bit back to something that Kofi was talking about, and it's very important, I think, in our dialogue. Is that Kofi has based, as many Christians, and of course indeed Muslims do, based what he said upon the Bible. But the Quran itself questions the veracity of the Bible. The Quran itself calls into question whether the whole Bible altogether is something that could be really completely trusted. In fact, it says that the people before have changed and corrupted their scriptures. And it was interesting, in my research I came across an epistle of Peter that is not included in the Bible today. But in fact, the early church, and this is the early 200 years after the time of Jesus, they actually wanted to include this epistle in the original text. But it was not included, because actually what we find is that what today is considered to be the New Testament are selected documents. They were selected by a particular theological viewpoint. It's interesting anyway that the epistle of Peter actually says exactly what the Quran says. It says that Jesus was not crucified, nor was he killed, but God raised him up to himself. But then after that, our differences begin to reconcile themselves again, because one of the things that Muslims believe, as Christians also believe, is that Jesus will come again. Muslims believe that now Jesus is with God. He is in a state where he is in al-barzakh. There is a barrier between him and us. So like any person who has departed this world, we don't believe that he can hear us or communicate with us or that he could hear our prayers. But he will return. And this is also what Muslims believe, that Jesus will return. And Jesus will establish justice upon this earth. And Jesus will rule according to God's law on this earth. And the kingdom of God, the rule of God, God's true religion will become manifest to all people. And he will come and he will fight the Antichrist, who is a liar, a person who will claim that he is the Lord. But of course, that is not true. And although he will do amazing things, he will fool many people, Jesus will come to fight him and destroy his falsehood. And Muslims believe that at this time when Jesus is on this earth, the truth will become clear, and that it will be a time of great peace and great happiness, that even as the Prophet Muhammad said, that the lion will lie down next to the deer, and the wolf will lie next to the sheep, and the baby will play with the snake. And it means that this is the time of peace that will be upon the earth. So this is very briefly some of the things that Muslims believe about who we believe to be a great prophet of God, born of the Virgin Mary, and that is Jesus, as we call him, Jesus, the Son of Mary. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair.